I was 30 years old when I was first diagnosed with bipolar 2. Now looking back, I know that I struggled from my teenage years. Just everyone kind of wrote things off as just typical teenage behavior. But looking back, I know that it's not, and after years of counseling and seeing psychiatrists, you know that it wasn't normal teenage behavior. So, but I did make it through my teenage years. In my early 20s, I had episodes of mania as well as depression. But it wasn't until I hit a really, really bad depression when I was about 30, after I'd had both my children, that my doctor finally sent me to see someone because he figured, well, this is not normal for me. So in a 2-year period, I was hospitalized 3 times for about a total of 6 months over those 3 times. But the last time I was in there, I finally talked to a nurse and just said, you know what, I don't belong here. I had 2 beautiful children. I had a loving husband, lived in a beautiful home, had a good job. I just didn't belong there. It just wasn't the place to get well for me. I asked the nurse, I said, okay, I don't belong here. I can't come back here. You know, how do I get better? Because these medications aren't working, and I believe they made my condition worse. I 100% believe that the medications made my condition way worse than before I was medicated. And so she sat down with me and she went through diet and nutrition and vitamins and other things that could help me on my way to wellness. And so that was kind of the first seed that was planted, that there had to be a natural way to deal with mental illness. I heard about Empower and True Hope through, it was actually my mom had read in the Vancouver Sun about Autumn Stringham, and that she was coming to Vancouver to talk about her book, Promise of Hope, and it had in there how she had overcome her mental illness with this Empower Plus. So my mom phoned me and said, you know, there's this woman coming to town and I really want to go hear her speak, and it's on, you know, bipolar, and I really want you to, you know, come with me. I don't want to go on my own, but I want to learn more and I want to know what you're going through. And that was a day that that really changed my life. I sat there and I listened to Autumn's story. She read a bit of her book, and I just cried and I cried because she was reading my life out loud. And my mom kept looking at Autumn and looking at me and looking back and looking at me, and I think that's when she realized, you know, how much she had missed. November of 2007 that I started on the program and started to go off my medications, and at that time I think it was on 6 different medications. So it was a long process. Well, I guess now looking back, it wasn't. It seemed like it was a very long process. It was probably about 3 months. In January 2008, at the end of the month, I was completely off my medications, my prescription medications, and only taking Empower Plus. It took a while to realize that on the Empower Plus, that when things were bad, it was like a day and then things got better, or it was 2 days and then things got better. I think there's always that fear there that once you have a bad day, it's going to last forever again. And it's the moment you realize that, you know, it's just a day or 2 days or maybe an hour kind of thing now, that that you're better. I remember Christmas morning, and the kids got up and we heard them run down the stairs and then run back up, and Mommy, Daddy, Santa came. And I was excited for the first time in years, since I don't know if ever, maybe with my kids, that I was excited, and I jumped up and I ran downstairs and I was excited, and I turned to my husband and he looked at me, and it's like he knew, like I was feeling joy at an appropriate moment. And yeah, I think we knew everything was going to be okay, and everything's been okay. For Tony and David, just the biggest thank you for your persistence, and for wanting something better for your family. You know, to find something that would work, that would be life-changing for your family, but then now to reach out to so many people. You saved my life. And because of you, my husband has a wife, and my children have a mother.